Sorry. You would have hit me. I wish I would have. But hey, good. We had the indoor. Got our work in. Did the things we had to do. Crowds you up, hurt you on deep balls, and some of your stuff you do. You got to change a little, but it really does allow you to work and get work in and practice better and things you got. But making progress. A lot of new things we put in today. Working a lot of red zone. It's hard to throw the ball down in that. When you get on that +10, we worked a lot in that. Yesterday, offense hit about 5 out of every 6. Today, they covered them up. You got to learn how to play. If you learn how to play down on defense, there's not many windows. There are only big guys and people making great plays. Our defense did a much better job in that today. I was very proud of that, the way we went. Getting better in the run game. Young guys, we keep putting them in different situations, handle different blitzes, getting off the field with them, let them handle those things as much as they can. It was hard today communicating in there because of crowd noise. I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, it was a good test for them in there, how we do that. But making progress about where I thought we'd be day 6. Offense wins some, defense wins some, so keep making progress. Attitudes are good, their work ethic's good.
Was it tough to kind of get going in the red zone, too, because guys were nervous about stepping over people and things like that?
No, well, I told them to be careful on the sidelines so we don't take – I don't want to hit some little kid. But I want the fans to see I mean, they're here today, and we were practicing. That's what we practice. Put them on the sidelines, let them see. Let them be part of it. We can adjust for one day or two to let those folks see what they had to see. And be there. I was glad they were here and supported it. They came over and watched us. I'm very happy with that.
Doesn't hurt to show off the indoor, does it, to folks who may be recruits 2, 3, 4 years down the road?
Yes, exactly right. It doesn't hurt. And this shows you like there. And you looked out there today, it was sun shining.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything there, and they say you can't practice. That's why I used to get first frustrated. I mean, you know what I mean? You didn't look, and all of a sudden it rains. You don't see a lot of lightning, but if you're within 15 miles, and so this allows you to stay on schedule and the things you do. But, yeah, definitely. Well, today, though, the way we designed some things, I wanted defense, we had to look at certain route combinations. And there's, like, where we do half-line pass, there's a side that will have a chance to work most of the time. And when they have coverage, there's a side that doesn't. So you're thrown into a dead side. So from that, too, from our point, I want them to learn what not to throw into as well as what to throw into. So, I mean, the side you're supposed to make the completion on, we got to make the completion. If there's a side that's a dead, sometimes both sides are good, sometimes they're not. You don't know what they're going to play. So we had to learn that, but that takes a lot of practice with those young receivers. You got to understand how your route changes. And then DBs, yesterday they were giving too much ground. They were creating too much space for us, and we were throwing it easy. Now today they started squatting, setting, and really denying balls and played really good. So it's a great group. Sometimes it's usually one side usually dominates the other. Then they go back and forth.
Coach, you talked earlier this week about some of the true freshmen coming in, and finally today we got to see Kermit and Jesus make some really nice plays.
They do. They got ball skills. And Isaiah had been making them all camp too. Ryan Green's been making them. Jalen Ramsey, Marquez White on the other side. I mean, all those guys, just jumping. Just the guys, those skill guys out wide. But those guys made nice plays. They can run. They got ball skills, running good routes. Learning, that's a good thing. They're learning quickly. They really are. Much farther along than a lot of the freshmen we've had as far as mentally learning assignments and things.
Yeah, but it looks like PJ and Jalen, they could be in line for, some playing time in terms of, what you've seen from them.
Oh, yeah, they're playing really well. PJ's playing well. Darby's getting back. Another week and a half or so, you'll see Darby get back in the swing of it. He's really working himself. I say a week. I don't think it'll be a week and a half. He's getting better every day. But PJ's doing well. Jalen's doing well. We got a good group of guys there. They're all good. Hopefully get playing time.
When you recruited Jalen, was it strictly as a corner? Did you think he might be a safety?
He can do both. He can do both right now. Right. And you want to teach him to find out what he can do farther away from the ball because those guys are harder to find. You know what I mean? Special guys. So we could do that, but he could be a
6 days in, how good has he been for you?
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good.
What happened to Ryan? Hopefully, is he out?
No, he'd be back about a week, I think. We were picking up a ball.
Yeah.
A fumble at the end of the play, and they thought it was over, and he was standing, and the linebacker ran in and his knee just did that, and it just did a little MCL sprain. He should be back in about a week and a half, something like that. Maybe just a slight sprain.
Kelvin made some circus catches today. Is he doing that more consistently in practice?
Much more consistent. He's a guy like down there. They got guys covered. That's how you got to play in the red zone. You play it right, and you got to have those mismatch guys that can go up over top of people and make plays. And we were trying to do that. We tried to put him in some tough situations where I knew they would do it, and then he'd have to go up. And I want to see him, even when he's guarded, make a play. You know what I mean? And you get good people down there. That's what you want to see, those great red zone players. And he did a real nice job today. Made 3 or 4 nice plays.
You talked about him at his ACC kickoff last year, kind of putting pressure on himself, thinking he had to always make this spectacular play.
Because everything y'all heard, like with our players, they all talked about it. So everybody's waiting to go, you're waiting to see a touchdown every 2 seconds. And I think it's bothered. You know what I'm saying? I think he tried too hard to always, and he didn't realize if he caught a slant or a drag, well, heck, That's a good thing. You don't catch touchdowns every play. I think when you're young like that, then you say, well, you feel like you're not doing anything. You know what I mean? I think we frustrate himself sometimes. I think it's part of growing up and being mature.
Did you talk to him about that
Yes.
this year?
Off season, everything. And even in spring, I started to see it again. And we called him in, and I said, listen, you just play the play. If it's a drag, it's a drag. If it's a slant, it's a slant. If it's a big time go, then we got it. You know what I mean? Just play. And I said, you're doing great. And we had that talk, and he finally opened up about it. You know, and you can see how you pressure and thinking you have to be spectacular because the players are all talking about what you can do, and they see plays like you saw a couple today. But you ain't gonna get a chance to make those 2 or 3 times a game. You know, you're not gonna make great plays like that. Just be consistent. And we talked through it, and I think it's part of his maturity. He's done a really nice job of handling that and practicing on the detail.
Have you guys moved Shane Broxy a little bit to tight end, getting some tight end?
Yes, we do, because he's fit. Those fullbacks and tight ends are all interchangeable. Yeah. Give you another big body there, and he's always been a hybrid back and forth. He's kind of trained at the same time.
Yeah. Well, we talk about versatility a lot. He's a guy that's played defense, played offense, kind of
yeah,
a little bit.
Big bodies, you move them around.
Jimbo, how's Matthew Thomas sort of assimilating?
Well, learning very well. I mean, you notice corners and people farther away from the ball because they flash. But I'm telling you, when you're in the middle linebacker where he's at and all that stuff happening, the multiplicity of things that happen is much greater. And he is really learning, and when he's at me, he can run and play. But I'm going to tell you, that whole linebacker group's a good group. Freddie's been doing well. Hoskins, Levenberry. Levenberry's physical, big, strong, moves well. Those guys, but Matthew's been playing I've been very pleased with him. Very pleased.
Away from the field, has he kind of assimilated well with the group? I mean, given everything that kind of happened before he got here, it seemed like he...
See, those guys all, as crazy as this sounds to you, maybe behind the scenes, that's went on in about half the players on our team. At some time, this one just happened to get out in public. I mean, they understand all the craziness some of those guys do that goes on in recruiting when you're highly recruited like a lot of our guys are. So from that standpoint, our guys never really... That whole thing, they just were just hoping he was here. They were actually trying to call him and tell him to come here. Didn't even worry. It never fazed them. They never looked at it in any way, shape, or form differently. Because at some point in time, they've had some scenario, maybe not as extreme, but something in their recruitment a lot of times that they understood where that's coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Jimbo, on defense, jersey number 6, you got 2 guys who are potentially first-teamers that have it. We talked to them today. They seem to think they're going to keep that jersey number. How's that going to work?
They keep it.
Yeah.
That's their problem, not mine.
They're not going to be on this field at the same time.
Exactly right. If we need one at the end, then the other's got to come off the field.
Yeah.
That's their choice.
Okay.
I think they might change their minds.
We'll find out. We'll find that out before the playing is.
Who would be in charge of keeping track of who's on the field?
It ain't my decision. I told him it's not my decision. That number's that important to you. Sit right there and wave and fan. We'll see. When they asked me me the same thing. I said, well, when that one plays, that one won't. And when you're on the field, you won't. That's the only thing I know.
Did the number matter to you much in baseball and football?
It did. I ain't gonna say I've never played. I promise you, I'd rather been on the field. So I mean, we'll see.
What was your
15.
any significance to that?
No.
I was way before Tebow. Yeah, I got you. Way before. Yeah. No, he was looking at me in small guys.
Any significance to it?
No, it was just a number I had through high school and all the way through. I actually didn't keep saying baseball's 10.
Oh.
So, I mean, I like numbers. I wasn't stuck on that. Yeah. I like playing too much. We good?